Before we start, I would like to thank you, my professor, Dr. Manjili, and all committees for these sessions. My name is Walailuk. My student ID is 0151330008. Today I'm going to present my studied research. The topic is to explore the factors that affect on decision making in using thin film technology instead of synthetic process for pretreatment in automotive industry, especially in Thailand. We will cover 8 agenda today, studying with background, study regional significance, retailer gaps, study framework and hypothesis, methodology, findings, conclusions, and future research directions. Starting with the background, I found 3 interested research related to my study research. Asia Pacific is the largest market for chemical surface treatment and automotive industry. Second thing is automotive manufacturers, especially production side, there are about 50% of workers are handling with the chemicals. Absolutely, chemicals is impacts on the human health. The third one is we found out that in synthetic process or production site, the waste water is generated as 630 cubic meters per day. So this is quite a lot that wastewater is contain heavy metals in synthetic process. So this is the startup or initiate the concepts of clean chemical, which is suitable for humans and environment. The reasons for choosing these topics is working purpose because currently I'm working as a sales manager in company who supply the chemicals to automotive business. I would like to promote the new technology for automotive manufacturers. So I finally decided to conduct this topic and find out the factors that can encourage automotive manufacturers to use thin film technology process. The second thing is to understand the workflow of engineering change or pretreatment process. I have been informed from internal generations and the process is in lines on headquarters, but no one knows the exact qualification process and actions. Then I would like to promote and create the values of thin film technology to automotive industry. Apart of that, retailers, I found the retailer gaps that there are 2 related research mentioned about allocations of manufacturing plant. They said that the decisions making process is done by headquarters or internal qualifications process. However, another one is mentioned that after untraveled allocations, the activities will belong to the manufacturing plant, which depends on countries, which would be driven by 4 dynamics, which are network strategy, plant capability, product process, and also locations regulation. So it is under investigate that which dynamics can drive the decision making for Thailand automotive manufacturers. From the research and results topic regarding my studied research, I use mixed qualitative methodology to describe and explore the factors that impact on decision making. I set up the 4 hypotheses based on 2 questions. So the first hypothesis is about the network strategy or headquarter approval is driving the decision making. The second thing is the plan capability when investments is a key impact on decision making. The third one is product and process. Know-how or experienced persons are driven the decision making. And the last one, The location regulations may drive and force to use the technology. From this hypothesis, the result is the first one is network strategy headquarter approvals. It's playing the significant role to get the decision making to use technology products. Pattern study framework. I have discussed with the experienced people in the field. After that, I conduct a study framework which is showing the relationship between independent variables and dependent variables. I found four interested topic which is approval qualified product from automotive one, quality performance, environment friendly. The last one is the cost. Are impacts on the decision making to use thin film technology in pre-treatment process. From this study framework, I put additional study value because after the key studying, we can further study for support new business. It could help to increase the sales from thin film technology, and it can be creating the product values for thin film technology as well. Move to methodologies. I did mix qualitative research method, which is in-depth interviews and define method. I did 12 sampling in-depth interview through automotive manufacturers, OEMs, components, and tiers. Tier 1 and Tier 2 is under OEM manufacturers. So the criteria for interviewee would be work in pre-treatment process. They can experience in synthetic process or thin film technology. This research method is interview through callings and web conference, face-to-face and email. While they will use the open question set one as a questionnaire. The data analysis is shown as descriptive data. Further, define method set up a panels of experts from three persons with different business area, which is automotive manufacturers, OEM components, and chemical supplier. For working scope, they must be experienced both synthetic and thin film technology because they can explain and provide in-depth information of this result. The research method is the same regarding the COVID-19 period, so we did interview through calling, web conference, and face-to-face, even emails. The questions is the open question set 2. The data analysis has been done by Delphine techniques. This is the examples of interview questionnaire. So in the left-hand side, it will be simple or general information of interviewee, while they need to be qualified before interview state. So the questions 1 and 2 is specified in the right-hand side. Based on two methods, we will have one question which is intersect, which is asking the same things because we like to confirm the result of each other. That's why we have the questions of what can drive the decision making to change from current technology to new technology 1. Let all interviewee include the expert to answer and share the ideas. For the findings, the first one in-depth interviews. We have got 2 females and 10 males. The age range, experience, access guide in the figures. So we found out that 12 of 12 is like all of them are using the synthetic process. So about the ideas of thin film technology, 2 of them have no idea at all. However, 10 of them know about the technology but has no experience in the field. The last one, the driven decision for change pre-treatment process, all of them mentioned just only about the headquarter approval. design techniques findings, we did a set of expert panels, three of us. We found they came from like section or senior managers, R&D managers, and also regional segment manager for chemical supplier. All of them are mentioned the same things is headquarter qualifications and approval must be the first point or initiates the approval to make the decision with technology that they are going to use. However, we have got the interesting information that they mentioned about the relationship among its dynamics and significant effects on decision making. It seemed like the headquarters is the A and the rest of them are B, and the B sections can support A to get the approval and make the decision. So it means that chemical supplier can take this point that we will try to drive three dynamics to support the key dynamics is approval. For the limitations, we found that some research data is confidential information, so it's sensitively to show off in this record. That's why I didn't put the examples of resulted. I just put the examples of the questionnaire. Second thing is automotive components. Tiers are less focused because tiers are related to OEM. They only provide the answers of the just ask OEM. Third one, pre-treatment process is niche market. Knowledge is limited access. So the populations of facilitators and experts are limited. So it's quite difficult to find out. Lastly, times and interactions are limited because we did the research through online channels. So they have limited time for callings and chit-chatting as well. For the conclusion, the findings from two qualitative research methods are consensus because they from the last questions they answer in the same directions, which is the first hypothesis is headquarter approval from network strategy can encourage automotive manufacturers to use thin film technology. On the other hand, all of four dynamics have a significantly relationship between each other and it positively drive the decision-making process. Last thing is the comment from the expert. They mentioned that the qualities and collision performance of thin film technology has to be suspected. So it's a homework for the chemical supplier that need to work on to improve the product performance and contact to OEM again. For further research directions, the company culture generations has impact on decision making because different culture they have the different characters of risk characteristics. So it's a personal culture that how they take the risk to answer, how they take the risk to change from the traditional thing to the new thing. The second thing is the product performance for thin film technology need to be continuing studying and fulfill the requirements, which is specific by OEM manufacturers. The last thing is marketing strategy for innovative products, because based on the automotive industry, they are like 70% are Japanese, 30% are non-Japanese one. So we need to study the way to communicate to the Japanese automotive manufacturers. This is from my site. So if you have any questions, please go on Q&A sessions by line ID as I provided before. So thank you for listening today's and for this session.